Hi friends, I'm happy to present this tool called STAR, which stands for Segmental Trends Analysis and Results. First things first, let's get into the presentation mode from this normal mode. For that, I'll click this button present. So we are now in the presentation mode. To switch back to the normal mode, click on stop. Again, you're in the normal mode, where you can see typical Excel view. So, okay, again, I'm going back to presentation mode. Okay, this looks good. So now you can see mainly three different sections here. The first section is where you have different segments, followed by the P&L summary, and you have the analysis at the bottom. So just to understand quickly the P&L summary, here you have VM, which stands for variable margin, VM percentage, stands for variable margin percentage, and you have different months here 20, and as usual P&L starts with sales and ends with net profit here, which is described as grand total, and in between you have other lines like cost of sales, variable labor expenses, and other expenses. If you want to get GL wise breakdown for any of this P&L grouping, all that you have to do is just click this plus button and play with this. Now you can see the breakdown of this fixed labor. To get back to the original view, again I'll click the same button. So now original view is available. And if you really want to expand all of these lines in one single go, just select this button. So you can see that all the lines are expanded in one go. And this button can be used to revert back to the previous view. Okay. Now, so what we are currently seeing is the profit position for fig tree pocket site or location. So what it says is that the sales for this particular location is 209 million for the month of April 23rd and 276 million for the month of May 23rd, and you have details of all other lines, and finally if you see the net profit is 35 for April and 78 for May. Now to move on to the most fascinating part of this tool is this analysis, which you can see at the bottom of the tool. So basically what it gives is the bridge between previous month and the current month automatically without we having to spend any time to prepare this bridge. So it says that the profit of the previous month is 35 million here, which actually ties with this 35 million here, and the profit for the current month is 78 million, which again ties with this 78 million here. And it also gives the various factors driving this profit change from 35 million to 78 million. So the first factor being the change in sales. So you can see that the sales for the previous month was 209, which has shot up to 276 million in the current month. So this change is a big positive change that has impacted profitability or profit by 13 million here positively. Same way, if you see the variable margin percentage, it was 19.4% in the month of April as compared to 34.4% in the month of May, which is a very, very positive improvement, huge change, and that has created or contributed to the extent of 41 million to the change in the profit. You can see that being indicated in green bar. Now the next item, which is SG&A, it was having for some reason 20 million credit in the month of April and or gain in the month of April, which became expense in the month of May. So the delta is 23 million, indicated as red. Not only that, it also gives for this particular expense, SG&A expense, on the right side, if you see the general ledger that is contributing this change. So breakdown of this, SGA expenses is provided on the right side. So this is something similar to the waterfall chart that we typically prepare manually. We had to go through so many details, so many tabs, so many files, and prepare manual waterfall chart manually, which takes hours, but all that process is automated here. Now let's say if you want to move to a different um, site, so our location, let's say Port Headland. I'll select Port Headland now. So that's it. As you select this site, everything gets refreshed and automatically calculated. And now you have the details for Port Headline, you have this P&L summary, you have the profit bridge. Again, you can see that the profit of the previous month 73 million and profit of the current month 51 million. You have the bridge available here. You can see that the impact on the sales and variable margin is 30 million, and there is no any impact on the variable margin percentage because it has not changed significantly. It remained 43% in the both the months. And here SG&A expense has favorably contributed to the change in the profit to the extent of 17 million. And again, SG&A expense breakdown, you can see on the right side the major GLs within SG&A expense contributing to this positive change, which is allocations and commissions. Now, same way, other operating expenses 11 million, explained by GL other income, mainly only one income, other one GL other income. Now let's see Western Australia Newman. So everything happens with a click, with single click. And you have the, again here also you have details such as impact due to change in sales, change in variable margin percentage, fixed expenses 29 million, which is again driven by these two GLs, staff training and operating lease, and fixed labor 10 million variance, which is again driven by this indirect labor.